Hello everyone, Kay here. I'm going to quickly show you how to repair the counter on your Sentro machine. Sentro machines are notorious for broken counters. I want to make this quick. I'm not a YouTuber. I just see a lot of questions about this on my Facebook group, so I thought I would put out a quick answer on how to fix them. Now, a lot of people will go out and do what I did, and they'll buy a new counter, thinking that their counter is broken. And chances are it's not your counter that's broken. Okay? So if you turn your counter's gear, and you'll see when we get into the machine where you can see this gear, and the numbers change, your counter is fine. There's nothing wrong with your counter. What it usually is not your counter, but how this counter actually attaches to the ring inside of the machine. And I'm going to show you that. But just in case, if you turn it and it doesn't turn, you can go in and clean it. In order to clean it, you're going to have to open it. And if you do that, I'm going to set this down for a second. If you do that, you want to have a baby bottle ring or something so that this button can hang down, because if you don't, it's going to cause a lot of problems. I don't recommend you open this, but if it's not working and you want to try and fix it, you can go in and clean it out. Now what you do is you very, very carefully lift this off and push those pegs, because it's going to fall apart. Now this thing comes apart like junk. It will fall apart, and this piece will fall out. It'll go everywhere. So you just want to open it up and check and see if there's some dust in there. Now most of the time this is not going to fix the problem. Okay, so I'm just showing you. You can do that, add some Vaseline or maybe baby oil, and then screw it. The screw actually goes right here. I don't have a screw in this one. I just wanted to show you quickly how you could clean it if you wanted to. But most of the time, that isn't the problem. You hear a lot of people saying that's the problem, but it usually isn't. And I'm going to show you what the problem normally is. Okay, so first we're going to open our machine. There are 7 screws generally in this machine. I think mine has very few at this point. I've lost a lot. I have a couple more screws I'm going to put in when I'm done, just to get them back. And unfortunately, the screwdriver I have right now is not acting magnetic like it used to, so I'm not even sure if it's going to take the screws out. Make sure to have some kind of magnet nearby so you don't lose your screws. Let's see here. Oh, that one doesn't have any in there. That one does. Okay, now all the ones I have in there, but there's 7, so you want to go around to all of them and loosen them up. Be very careful if you have to dump them out. Well, mine are going to go on the floor this time. Okay, that's okay. I will find them when I'm done. I'm going to attach this one to here. Got a few on there. Let's see. Alright, well, I think I found it. Alright, so next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the white ring off. Okay? Be careful by the handle. You got to kind of very gently pull it out around the handle, and this could fall out, so make sure to put that to the side if it falls out. Now be very careful not to remove this. It's really hard to put back on. If you do, you can put it back on. There's actually 2 rings here. Mine are attached together because of another problem I had, but there are 2 rings there. All right, now we're going to be working on the white ring, so set the rest of the machine aside. And this is your white ring. Now, this is where the counter is. You can remove this. You can actually remove this to see the counter when you're on there, but you can't do this repair with it without taking this ring off. So, but if you have it on the machine, you can actually take this little door and see the counter. But so you can see that the gear is here, and if you turn this gear and you turn it over and you look at it, then you can actually see whether it's turning or not. You can see mine is turning. It's turning backwards because that's the way I'm turning it, but it is actually turning. So there's nothing wrong with this counter. This counter is in good condition. Now what happens, and I'm going to try very carefully to show you what happens, okay? So inside of here you have, the counter is here. Now there is a little white wall. Now you're going to see a clear plastic one here because that's where I reinforced it. But this little white wall wears down, okay? And this wall is what holds this gear up against little teeth that cause it to count. So if this wall even gets just a tiny bit too short, it no longer counts. And in my case, it was only 2 weeks that I'd had it. So what you do is you go in and you want to get a piece of plastic, preferably a really thick piece of plastic. In my case, I found this very thick plastic was on a package of socks that I had, and I cut it off. So I had a hole, and I cut down just such that I had a U. Okay, then I took that and I used some super glue. Okay, and I put some super glue on that little white wall there. So you want to put just a drop on the little white wall, and you can do that while if you want to take your counter out, if you're afraid of getting the super glue on the gear itself. You can take the counter out, just undo these 2 screws over here and remove it, okay? And then you can take this little piece of plastic, and you want to, what I did is I put it, it's not an easy thing to do. I'm not going to say it's easy. It takes a little finagling here. So you want to, you know what, I'm going to take my pliers and try it this way. So you want to sneak it underneath here. And I took my screwdriver and just pushed it up against there. And then once I got it up against there, the glue kind of held it up against there. I took my finger, pushed it up against the white wall, and used the pliers and just kind of held it there. And as I did, I kind of shifted it up. I took the screwdriver and pushed underneath and shifted it up just enough to hold that gear up a little more. And I'm sure you cannot see from where I'm holding. So if you can see, I just stuck the plastic up in there and pushed up just a little bit, okay? And that held that gear just a little bit higher against the gears as they passed by, and the counter started working with no problem. So that's my recommendation on how to fix it. It's not too difficult to do. You just put that piece in there, put it all back together the same way you took it apart, and you shouldn't have any problems. And I hope that helps. I hope you're able to do it too. And I hope it fixes your machine. Just one thing I want to mention, make sure to use super glue. Don't use super glue fix-all adhesive or something like this, because these are not instant. They're both available at the dollar store, but you want to get the original super glue. And I hope that helps, and I hope somebody else is able to fix their machine. Thank you.